Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? Today we are going to be learning how to make this wonderful little creation. I turned it into a tea light, but there can be 1,000 different uses you can have for just like a little cube like this. So we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna take some cardboard, cover that stuff in tuck tape. Make sure it's all sealed because you do not want any water from the concrete getting onto your piece and just ruining it. Plus, if it's completely covered in tuck tape, how you disassemble it in the future of this video, you can reuse it, which is great because if you really like how it turns out, you know, you can make more, which is always super duper. There are things in this video I may not have done perfectly right, and you will see in a little bit. Hence why this video is probably twice as long as I wanted it to be, because it was supposed to stop halfway through, but I broke the mold. And the reason I did that was because I did not put enough cooking spray, as in I didn't put any at all, cooking spray on the insert, on that little thing I'm showing you right there actually. So, and another little thing, pro tip, make a little more extra kind of concrete than you're gonna need, because I definitely did not make enough. Look, it did not even cover that. I did try and shove that insert into there in hopes that it would be enough, and just that it would displace, but I knew in my heart it would not be that way. So I just kind of mixed it all back together so I would have an even consistency of the concrete. Wipe that off. I don't know why. It was just going into more, just probably for my shame. Dunked it back in there and tried to get all the air bubbles out as best as possible, because you do not want that to kind of be a part of your, unless you do, but usually you don't want like a little air bubble trapped in there, because then it might just not look as good, or be as structurally kind of sound. That's a little concrete candle holder that my husband and I made. We made a few of those. I really enjoy those. Yeah, they were fun. Okay, and so this is where the cooking spray would have, just helped me kind of pop that sucker right out. And I used a container that was square and fit in there perfectly, but it also had ink in it. And I really didn't have anything, I mean, I probably could have made something, but I didn't have anything just on hand that was that shape. So this was the result of that. This is where the video would have been close to ending before, but now we get to kind of use this thing I like that I'm not super familiar with, so don't come at me in the comments about how I'm pronouncing this, but Kintsugi. It's like the ancient Japanese art of mending broken pottery with gold. So I'm just gonna take resin and I'm going to paint all of the sides with the resin, squish it all together, and then tie a little rope around it, squish some more on top, more of the broken little sad concrete. But that, it's not sad, it's happy, because it actually, in the end, turns out better than it probably would have if it hadn't have broken, which is pretty cool. And the fact that you don't just throw something away and you make it better and functional and you can fix it. I think that's something our society is lacking in, the ability to fix and mend and make things better. I don't know, I just wish there was more tinkerers out there. Like, is that weird? I don't know. Maybe. So anyway, like I said, just gonna resin that little piece on the top there, squish it all in, and then boom, magically, it's 24 hours later, where we use some Mod Podge and paint in all of those cracks and try and get as deep as you can, just so it kind of like seals where the resin may not have sealed, because gravity does take its kind of course with resin. So unless it's like a flat surface, sometimes it's not exactly how you want it to be. My little cat keeps making an appearance. He's trying to help, so I know his heart is in the right place, but he just doesn't have thumbs. So yeah, we're just gonna shove all that gold foil into all of the cracks. And then boom, magically it's all done. 24 hours later. I use tea lights to measure out my 1-to-1 ratio of resin. I'm using art resin, by the way. I really like this stuff because it's non-toxic and it can have contact with food. I wouldn't like make a bowl out of it and eat your cereal out of it. But, if you did it one time, it would probably be okay. But you still don't want to be eating resin. It's always good to kind of take precautions, wear gloves and stuff, because you don't want that on your skin. Especially like, yeah, things are coming out now, like with the constant contact with resin, people are getting weird about it. So just make sure you're protected wearing gloves and stuff. So yeah, like I said, gravity earlier, it caused all the resin to kind of pool at the bottom. And I did, when it was curing, I will say, that mat that I have is a silicone mat because resin does not stick to silicone. So I cut all of that off and boom, placed a tea light in there, put it by some salt thingies, some salt candles, and magically have this stunning little concrete cube that is mended with gold. Well, like I said, inspired by Kintsugi, probably murdering that word. And there we go. So thank you for joining me and listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe. If you didn't, don't. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.